Buying a car in Carvana was so easy. I was able to finance it through them.
Whoa, wait, you mean finance?
Yeah, finance. Got pre-qualified for a Carvana auto loan, entered my terms, and shot from thousands of great car options all within my budget.
That's cool, but financing through Carvana was so easy.
Financed. Done. And I get to pick up my car from their Carvana vending machine tomorrow.
Financed.
Right, that's what I said.
You can spend time trying to pronounce financing, or you can actually finance and buy your car today on
Carvana.
Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
Welcome back to the Comfy Chairs, a podcast from 123 Limited. This is your host, Kate, and today's episode is a comfyHQ installment. Comfy Chairs, Hard Questions. We're focusing on growth, listening, and responsibility today, the kind that starts with you. Whether you're managing a team without a clear promotion path, trying to hold back from solving every problem yourself, or wondering how to help your people step up with more ownership, we've got you covered. These 3 listener questions each hold a mirror up to a common leadership habit and offer a mindset shift and practical approach to do it differently. How do I help my team members grow when there's no clear promotion path? Before we talk about growth, let me focus on the relationship between promotion and advancement. Promotion is actually just one form of professional advancement. This little tweak in your perspective makes the question of helping employees grow far less challenging. It also honors the fact that not everyone craves promotion. And when you remember this, you're thinking more inclusively about your team and their growth. So when we view growth beyond the narrow category of promotion, we make a whole menu of choices available. These include formal education and training, adding skills and experience, mentoring and training others, and so much more. Here are just a few examples to consider. Find an opportunity for an employee to add skills that will make them successful in a future job. Maybe you have someone on your team who's interested in computer programming, but their current role doesn't involve that responsibility. You can connect them with someone in the organization who has that knowledge so they can learn what it takes. Or you could use department education dollars to cover or defray a portion of the cost of a class. It's worth getting familiar with your company's policies about what types of education are eligible. You may be thinking, but Kate, doesn't helping them add skills for a future job mean I'm encouraging them to go find that job? Very astute of you. It does. Because in addition to recognizing that promotion is just one form of advancement, leaders who are great at growing others understand that they are stewards of talent. Your job is not to hoard talent, but to nurture it. And the natural result of nurturing talent means that it will likely move on. Just like a gardener repotting a growing plant, you should be prepared to support employees when they are ready for their own transplant. This doesn't mean you tell people to leave. It means you are aware of the potential and invest in their future success, whether it's on your team or elsewhere. Which means any responsibility that can enhance someone's resume is an opportunity for growth and development. Take departmental training and mentoring. Even if you're not able to provide additional compensation, giving an employee who's interested in leadership, say the chance to mentor new hires, builds their experience for when they eventually find that first leadership role. Note that it's important to explain to this employee why you're giving them additional work. It only takes a moment of your time to say, Jane, I know you've expressed interest in supervising others, and while we don't have that exact opportunity on our team right now, what I can offer you is the chance to serve as the orientation mentor for our new hires. It's not direct supervision, but it will give you some exposure to coordinating employee activities and be a great thing to add to your resume. Here's what this work will entail. I hope you've noticed something that both of these examples have in common: knowledge of the employee's interests and aspirations. This is the groundwork for any leader who wants to successfully grow their team. How do you do this work? Ask them. It's that simple. Here are a few questions you can use in one-on-ones, casual conversations, or wherever it fits naturally. Let's start with the basics. What projects interest you? Are you interested in promotion? And what are your aspirations? For deeper explorations, consider these. What's your favorite part of your job, and what exactly do you like about it? This identifies tasks and assignments that can bring job satisfaction. What's a project or role you want to try before you retire? This question prompts reflection on long-term aspirations. What would you like to be able to do in your next role? This helps surface goals for growth, development, or advancement. Questions like these will give you the information you need to create individualized, targeted growth opportunities that help your employees flourish in their current roles and when or if they pursue promotion. Remember, promotion is simply a subset of professional growth. And your role is to care for and nurture talent. When you recognize these truths, the absence of a promotion path doesn't limit how far your team can grow. How can I get better at listening instead of jumping in with solutions? As is my habit, I want to offer a mindset and a method to answer this question. Mindset shifts are vital to support behavior changes. In this case, we need to examine how you view your role. If you are constantly jumping in with your own ideas and solutions, it may mean that you see your role as the leader to be a fixer or even hero. And if you're asking the question, it's likely that those roles are not a good fit. So try these on for size. Advisor, facilitator, or even guide. What these have in common is being there to support the one doing the work. The focus moves from you to the employee where it belongs. They own the responsibility for the work, while you remain accountable for the outcomes and no longer have to be in the weeds solving every problem. Once you answer what is my role, you can test one simple method to help you adopt this new mindset. It's almost embarrassingly simple. Take a sticky note and write yourself a reminder. You are not a fixer. You are a facilitator, guide, fill in the blank with the role you've identified. Put this note somewhere you will see it every day. Read it to yourself before the first meeting of the day, every day. Let's say for at least a week. Take this easy method one step further and spend a few minutes reflecting on what your role entails. A straightforward T-chart with two headers, a guide is not, just for example, will do just fine. Then spend 5 to 10 minutes listing the types of actions your role does and does not take. While you're navigating the shift in your mindset, this list can help you identify the behaviors you want to adopt and those you want to stop. Naturally, you can study active listening skills. In fact, every leader should. But in this specific case, without addressing the underlying mindset, you will struggle to improve. By actively embracing a role that helps your employees move from problem to solution, you will become a better listener and a better leader. What's one simple way to encourage more ownership from my team? Here is a simple and foundational tactic. Clarify expectations. Yours first. Let me ask, what exactly are you expecting in terms of ownership that you're not seeing? I categorize concerns about ownership with those that describe employees not, quote, going above and beyond, unquote. Own what? Above and beyond what? These are cases where the job expectations are not clear and not aligned with what the manager expects. And the hard truth is that ultimately, this isn't about the employee. It's a reflection of what you've told them about their responsibilities. It may mean that you need to up your game when it comes to setting expectations and giving assignments. So let's go over the basic steps for creating clear, actionable expectations. It boils down to one easy to remember sentence. Who does what, by when? State who is responsible for completing the work. Identify the tasks, methods, resources, and other elements of the work. Establish a reasonable deadline with a date. And make sure people have the opportunity to ask questions in the moment and throughout the assignment. Follow up, observe, and provide feedback. Repeat. If you find yourself thinking they don't have enough ownership of what we're doing, then take a few moments to reflect on how effectively you explained what they need to do to accomplish the job. Chances are you've left a lot to their imagination. Never assume that people know unless you've told them. This isn't about treating employees like children who don't know how to do their job. It's about providing clarity to give people the information and expectations they need to succeed. For example, with an experienced employee, you won't go into great detail about the tasks, methods, and so on, but you should be clear. Do this how you've done it 100 times. This is the bare minimum of managing people at work. If you are an expert expectation setter but still struggling with what you've labeled as ownership, it could be a flaw in the job description. In my own experience, I know that job descriptions don't get the regular review and revision they need, anything like often enough. Work changes, oftentimes without our being really aware of it. New programs get installed, people leave and others pick up the slack. Customer expectations evolve. All of this can change the fundamental responsibilities of a job, but employees don't have a concrete update to guide them. If you're using your circumstances as the only measure of people's performance without having supporting documentation, you and the team will constantly be misaligned. So work with your HR team to review and update job descriptions on a regular cadence. Depending on your company or industry, this could be an annual process or once every 5 years or so. In any event, even if the job description includes that handy phrase, other duties as assigned, it is the tool you and your employees share to understand expectations. I want to encourage you to avoid thinking about ownership. Instead, revisit expectations and clarify what and how you're telling employees they need to do. Start with yourself, focus next on the job, and then educate the employee. I think you'll be pleased with the results. As always, the goal here is to help you build your leadership practice with clarity and care, one step at a time. If today's question sparks something for you, I'd love to hear about it. You can always find more resources, conversation, and ways to work together over at 123ltd.com. Next week, we'll be back with a conversation about identifying blind spots. Thanks for listening.